Hello, I am Melissa Gardner. I'm the face behind Little Smiles, Big Sunshine. That is my blog, so if you'd like to check out my blog, I have lots of videos that I'm going to be posting about alternative seating. The name of my blog is littlesmilesbigsunshine.blogspot.com. So go ahead and check that out. As some of you may know, about 3 weeks ago, I got this idea that I wanted to do alternative seating in my classroom. I teach kindergarten. I have 25 students. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and try a donors choose, which I did, and surprisingly enough, within 24 hours, my project was funded. So I'm going to kind of show you what alternative seating looks like in my classroom. I have lots of different things, and if you kind of look around my room here, you will probably notice that I don't have a seat for every student in my class. My classroom is 100% free seating, which means that my students come in and they do not have a specific seat for them on any specific day. So we'll start first with, I ordered these exercise ball chairs. My students absolutely love these. So the idea behind this chair is that they can just sit in it, they can bounce a little bit while they're working. I do have guidelines for all the different seating types in my classroom. Notice I called them guidelines, not rules, because who likes rules anyway? So we go with guidelines, and my students know the guidelines, and when they see other people not using them, they stop them and let them know. So we have these chairs. I also have this table lowered so that my kindergartners, I've noticed a lot of them like to just sit on their knees and work. So they have the opportunity to do that if they would like. I moved my kitchen area to the front of my classroom instead of the back where it used to be, because this is another place where my students can sit, and they really seem to enjoy this. Over here, I have carpet squares. The carpet squares, students can use these whenever they would like. They can use them to lay on, to sit on. When they're working, they are allowed to stand if they choose to stand. They're allowed to sit if they choose to sit. They can also lay down on their bellies. It doesn't matter to me how they choose to learn as long as they're learning. Over here, we might have to maybe zoom in, or I can actually post this on my blog, but it's on my free seating guidelines. And once again, they're guidelines, they're not rules. And it says, in this class, we use free seating. We can sit or stand anywhere. We bring our supplies with us. And these are where we keep our supplies. I used to have 25 chairs with 25 seat sacks. I decided, well, we don't have chairs, so we need somewhere to put our supplies. So each student has a special place for their supplies, and they put their supplies in this bin. So when it's time to go to find your space wherever you're going to work, you come over, you get whatever it is that you need from your bin, and you find your space. We spread out, we don't roll around, we work hard. Working instead of talking, we sit and stick. I do ask that the students, once they find a spot, they sit so they're not roaming around the classroom. I do certain spots for certain subjects. So if we're learning math and they choose a spot, they need to stay there until we're done with the math activity that we're doing. After that, we come back to center carpet. The center carpet, which is the rug here, is where I do all of my whole class teaching. So when students used to sit at tables and they would be sitting in their chairs, I would be up here to teach a lesson and then they would work. Now I call students to come to center carpet. They come to center carpet, they have a seat, I teach the lesson, and then I call them in small groups to go pick their spaces. I do have a video that I'll be posting on my blog that shows the classroom and how it works in action, from whole class teaching to individual free seating. The other thing that we talk about is that we can't lie on our tummies, or we do lie on our tummies, but we do not lie on our backs, because you can't really learn if you're laying on your back. And then the bottom is something that my kiddos just know. We make great choices in this class because we are amazing kindergartners. Over here, I do have a table that's been raised, and this is the standing table. When I first started doing alternative seating in my classroom, I didn't have all the cool chairs. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And so we started where kids could just sit on the floor or they could stand, and I didn't have this table raised. And there were a lot of kiddos who were sitting in my classroom in different places that I wouldn't have expected. A lot of them were sitting on their knees, but there were quite a few who were standing. And I thought that was really great, and their work was amazing. So all I did was have the table raised, and it's perfect for standing. I do have my computers, and we just have regular chairs here at the computers. I do have some regular chairs, because the whole idea of alternative seating is to give lots of options. And so I want them to have different choices. So although I don't have a lot of kiddos who like to sit, I noticed that when we did our first try at it, lots of kiddos weren't sitting. There were actually kiddos who were doing different things, but I do want to make sure I have that available for all students. I have wobble stools. These are great. There are guidelines for the wobble stools too, but the kiddos love these. They can kind of wobble while they work. Just another example. One last thing that I have back over here, we have cushions. These cushions are great. My students love this. Just another thing that they can use when they're sitting, when they're working on the floor, when they're laying on their bellies, just kind of something to help them out. So these are just some of the ideas, and I think the reason the alternative seating is so successful in my classroom is because they have choice. It's their choice, and because they can choose to sit wherever it works best for them. Thanks.